And in the summer of 1946, an 8-year-old girl in a bathing suit walked out into the woods, and the woods gave her back, eventually. And then that's when they call in, like, the military to go out there. But why are they calling the military to go out there?
Mm-hmm.
Here are the details that do not add up.
Okay. Well.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
These do not add up.
Okay.
And nobody knows what happened.
In the words of the famous Carl Sagan, we are just a means for the universe to understand itself.
Welcome to Candlelight Curiosities. You can call me Maggie, and this is Michael.
Hello.
And we have our guest, Mr. Hadley, here in the middle today. And each week we'll bring you stories that make you question what's real and what's not. So light a candle, relax, and let's get into today's stories and topic.
Yes.
What are we talking about today?
Missing 411.
Why?
Because it's spooky.
It's spooky and highly requested and commented on our stuff.
That too.
We listen to you. We listen to the viewers, and we read every single comment.
Even the nasty ones.
Yeah. But, so, do you know what missing 411 is?
Unexplained disappearances of people.
Do you know where it came from?
The retired police detective?
Yes. David Paulides. Paulides.
Palladium.
Okay, well, he brought together all these missing persons reports, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was trying to connect the dots of, like, what's actually happening to these people. They're not just disappearing. There's something else happening. But what you find out when you do more research on him is that he left out a lot of information that was really important.
Like, out of his books?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
Why?
To make things seem more spooky than they actually are, maybe.
Wait, so he left out or he added?
He left out information. So when you actually look up the different police reports of different incidences, there's just context that he left out on purpose. We're assuming.
Why would he do that?
To make his books probably sell more.
Oh, so you think it's a cash grab?
I don't think it's all a cash grab, but I do think that there's information often that was left out that was extremely important to the stories that you can find if you research online, according to other people. I really don't know. I didn't look into any of them specifically.
So this stuff just kind of solves it. And then you're like, oh. Like the stuff he left out explains everything?
Not all the time.
Oh.
But it's just some information from the different Redditor comments I've seen and then also different videos I watched. I haven't done my own research, so take this with a grain of salt. But
yeah.
Yeah.
You got to take all Reddit posts with a grain of salt, I think.
Well, I didn't just look at Reddit. I'm looking at on YouTube and online sources, everything. Yeah. But I'm just saying that's where I figured this out. So today I got 2 stories for you. I have a spooky story. Well, they're both spooky. I have a spooky Reddit story and I have a real story of an actual missing person, a missing child. So would you like, they're both spooky. Don't get me wrong. But would you like to hear the story first or would you like to hear about the missing child?
The story.
So the reason I chose this story is because the other story that I have prepared is very similar, like camping, hiking, being out with the family, and things happened. And this one's very much similar in the sense of like they're in a tent and things happened. And I was like, what is this? But after the other episodes where we went over with mimics and doppelgangers.
Oh my God, dude.
Don't you wish you had a fan on you right now? I can't smell anything.
It's blowing it into my face.
But
come on, man. Give me some warning. It just means he's very relaxed.
Yeah, he's so comfortable. After the other stories and other episodes that we did on like doppelgangers and the flesh pedestrians and such, this also I feel like ties into that. So this story was posted 7 years ago in r/unexplained by u/Kane-Aloha. When I was 10, I went camping with my mom, baby sister, aunt, uncle, and their 3 kids. It was fall in Canada. Mom, sis, and I shared a tent, while the others did too. I'll never forget the dreams that I had that night. My sister was only about 3 at the time. So in the dream, I woke up in the early hours of the morning, like 2 to 3 a.m., from the cold wind blowing on my face. I woke up and noticed the tent zip door opened, and my sister standing right outside pointing at the sky while looking at me. Remember, baby sister.
3 years old.
3 years old. I immediately forcefully shut my eyes and covered my head with a sleeping bag shell and then felt this cold chill literally run through my body from my head to my toes. After about 3 to 5 minutes, I peeked out from under the camping bag shell and it turned out that everything was back to normal. Mom and sis were asleep. I was like, wow, that was weird. So I got comfy and still frightened. I forcefully shut my eyes and went back to sleep. Or so I thought. All of a sudden, again, the cold wind on my face, tent door opened, but this time I see my sister standing out near the water waving to me to come over. But when I looked to the right of me in the tent, my mom and sister were laying asleep. So then, why do I also see my sister standing out waving me over? The scariest thing then happened as she let out the high-pitched bark call that sounded like she said, "Hey," or "Here," almost as a person who didn't speak English would say it.
It's a common theme.
Can you try to say it?
Hey! Listen!
Hey or here.
Hey! Listen!
Listen?
Yeah, it's from Zelda.
Oh, I was like, what are you I was like, it's only hey or here.
Hey here. A bark?
Yeah, they said it sounded like a high-pitched bark calling out that sounded like she said, "Hey" or "Here."
Here!
Maybe. Weird. I again closed my eyes and forced myself to sleep, only to have the same dream over and over for the rest of the night. When I woke up in the morning and I got ready to fish with my uncle and my cousins, right where my sister was standing in the dream, there were these stab wounds in the ground dirt near the water.
The ground dirt?
The ground dirt.
In the ground dirt.
In the dirt ground. I'm just going to put ground.
In the ground dirt.
There were these stab wounds on the ground near the water. The stab wounds looked like something that you would do with a piece of pork shoulder before you marinated it. Just tiny little openings on the floor.
It's very specific, but honestly, I know exactly like the way that this person described it. I'm like, okay, got it.
Yeah, I can see it. Till this day, I'm still confused about what happened that night. And the only reason I'm sharing this story is because of the night after, I kept having the same dream where the tent was open, cold breeze on my face, mom and sis laying next to me asleep. But this time it was a tiny deer-like animal that was standing near the water in a high-pitched barking sound like "Hey" or "Here."
So the stab wounds in the ground dirt. Okay, I'm piecing it all together now. And I'm not saying the person is wrong, but could it be that the wind was blowing? The little sister got up. She's 3. She's not going to zip up the door after she gets out. Right? The wind blew. One of the rain flies from the tent came loose. So the little girl woke up, went to see what it was because it was probably banging against the tent. She was like, oh, found the tent peg, poked it into the ground a few times, thinking that, she was doing the right thing. And then pointed at the sky because she saw something cool because they're out in the wilderness and it's beautiful. Then when they wake up, aunt or uncle sees the tent peg in the wrong spot, puts it in the right spot, says, hey, Kane Aloha, time to wake up. Kane Aloha wakes up and goes, why are there all these holes in the ground in front of the tent? But doesn't ask anybody about it. And then life goes on.
Far-fetched.
Is it really that
Yes,
far-fetched? Because
yes.
I feel like based on the clues that this person has said, all of those things could be explained by those phenomena.
It was just a repeating dream over and over again of this happening.
He dreamt that there were stab wounds in the ground dirt?
No. No. But I can't believe. How dare you?
Their words, not mine.
It was actually my mess up.
It didn't actually say ground dirt?
It said dirt ground.
Dirt ground. Got it. The dirt ground.
Okay. Yeah, this person keeps seeing the baby sister out by the water, waving them over. When he looks over, who's sitting next to them or laying next to them is the mom and sister.
Didn't he say he got woken up in the middle of the night and his baby sister was out in front of the tent pointing at the sky?
Yes, but when he turned over, or this person turned over, they were laying right next to him. Yes.
Okay.
So it's this repeated dream, or is it something waking him up that's not his little sister?
Well, I will say this. When I'm out camping or sleeping in a different spot, A, and then B, when I'm sleeping in the wilderness, my brain is like on a high. I'm on DEFCON 5.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I always have crazy dreams when I sleep in a different bed, but I have even crazier dreams when I'm asleep in the woods.
Yeah.
I think that's just a common thing to have weird ass dreams because your conscious mind is so like active when you're sleeping.
Yeah, but
You know?
to have the same dream over and over again is like, or the same dream, whatever it is,
People have recurring dreams. I've had recurring dreams.
in the same night.
Sometimes it's in the same night, but it'll be a different iteration of the dream. But it's a continuation. Might not be exactly the same, but
I don't know. Sounded spooky.
that is a little spooky, but I believe that based on my own experiences that bro was just having some weird dreams.
Yeah. Possibly.
Like the other night, I ate a bunch of Chinese food and it was delicious. Or no, I ate a bunch of Asian food that my aunt made and it was awesome. And then I had this dream that night that I had to bring a bunch of Asian food to a temple in order for the priest there to read my future. Like, you know how like the witches throw bones, but they threw my food.
That's really interesting. You did not tell me that part.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm a little skeptical on that story. That's all I'm saying.
Me too.
A little skeptical.
I always thought it was spooky when I read it, or interesting when I read it. All right, so now to get into the true crime, basically.
Yes.
Basically, it's a true crime story. Okay, so the next story is like a true crime story. Not true crime, but it's a true story of an 8-year-old girl who vanished for 6 days in a place called Devil's Den and came back with no memory of where she'd been.
Spooky.
And in the summer of 1946, an 8-year-old girl in a bathing suit walked out into the woods, and the woods gave her back, eventually. So Devil's Den State Park is in Arkansas, in Ozark Mountains, is 2,200 acres of sandstone caves, bluffs, ravines, and dense forest.
A lot of weird stuff happens in the Ozarks.
Native Americans believed evil spirits lived in the caves because condensation drifted out of the openings, like the earth was breathing.
That's creepy.
The name Devil's Den is older than anyone can trace. Nobody remembers who named it or why. It just always was. So it's June 16, 1946, a nice hot summer day. The Van Alst family, Van Alst, A-L-S-T, family drove down from Kansas City for a vacation. Mom is in the back of the cabin making lunch. Dad is napping. 8-year-old Katherine is in the swimming hole with her brothers. Right before she vanishes, Katherine fell into the deep end. Her brothers dove in, but they couldn't pull her out. A woman camping nearby jumped in, fully clothed, and rescued her. Minutes later, Dad looks up from watching the boys. Katherine is gone. Hundreds of volunteers searched. Airplanes flew low. Bloodhounds tracked. Divers checked the water. Her father pushed himself so hard that he collapsed on day 3, and the sheriff, suspicious, barred him from the search.
Sheriff was suspicious of the dad?
Yeah. Because why is he out there looking so hard?
Because that's his baby girl.
I guess, yeah. But I guess some people could see it as a guilt. Well, I mean, I feel like he does have guilt regardless because he didn't see her. He didn't see where she went. Day 6. A World War II veteran named Porter Chadwick reaches a bluff about 7 miles away from the cabin, calls her name, and hears a quiet voice. Here I am.
Here I am.
She walks out of the cave. She says, thank you. Searchers described her as eerily, unsettlingly, how do you say that word?
Unsettlingly.
Searchers described her as eerily, unsettlingly calm.
Unsettlingly. Do like a ling-ling sound, but lilling.
Unsettlingly calm.
Unsettlingly. Unsettlingly.
Unsettlingly.
Say unsettling.
Unsettling.
Lee. Unsettlingly.
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 Okay. Searchers described her as eerily calm.
There you go.
And it was not settling. Here are the details that do not add up.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
These do not add up.
Okay.
And nobody knows what happened. The cave was 7 air miles away and 600 feet higher in elevation, requiring 20 to 30 miles of traveling on foot through rugged terrain. Barefoot, in a bathing suit, 6 days.
That's crazy.
Yeah. The exact location had already been searched by aircraft and tracker dogs twice. No trace of her, and then suddenly she's there. She remembered sleeping on warm grass the first night. Her next memory is waking up in the cave on day 6. 5 days, completely gone. She had no idea what happened. No recollection. She said she shouted at searchers multiple times and no one heard her. She saw the dogs and ran away from them because she was scared. She survived on berries in a park full of poisonous ones. She was a city kid, no outdoor experience, and she chose correctly every time. Interesting. And aside from insect bites and scratches, she was essentially fine. 8 years old, out in the wilderness, by herself for 6 days. Completely fine.
Survival instincts kick in. An 8-year-old today would most certainly not be able to do any of those things.
Yeah. I don't know. This is so crazy. So Katherine grew up, lived a full life, and never had an explanation for the 5 missing days. The cave had a freshwater spring inside, and she was calm, she was fine, and she just came back. 5 days, no memory, found somewhere impossible in a place called Devil's Den.
The Devil's Den.
And here's the thing. Katherine isn't the only one who left Devil's Den with missing time and no explanation. But that is a story for another episode.
Ooh.
The other one's pretty crazy.
Missing time. I first learned about that from the X-Files. It was like the 2nd or 3rd episode.
The missing time?
Yeah. When Mulder turns his watch and sets his watch and his he's got 2 watches, I think, a stopwatch and his regular watch. And then they drive, he paints the X's on the road and he drives from point A to point B. And then one watch says one thing and one watch says another thing.
Yeah.
Aliens.
I saw something recently. And again, I believe a lot of things that I see online that I probably shouldn't have. I only seen one video about it, so couldn't tell you if it's real. But the guy was saying that he set his old, like the wall clocks for time. And that his phone watch and his like Apple Watch was faster than the time. Like they're speeding up the simulation without checking all the clocks.
Wait a minute. Stop. No, stop. He had a wall clock. Battery powered.
Multiple.
A battery powered. Multiple battery powered wall clocks.
Yeah.
Were they fresh batteries?
I don't know.
How old were these clocks?
It's probably not true at all. But I found it interesting.
Pretty much all wall clocks are wildly inaccurate, especially the cheap ones.
She is scary.
Even my watch is inaccurate, and it's like a really nice watch.
This is Katherine.
No way.
Ain't that spooky?
That's not her. That looks like that looks like something from The Grudge. No offense, Katherine. Pretty German-sounding name for World War II time.
Okay. But very interesting. And the other story has to do with some UFO action.
I think that last story had to do with some UFO action.
This one? The Katherine one?
Katherine Van
Alst.
Van Pelt.
Van Alst.
Van Pelt. Golly, dude. Again? Woo. Stanky butt, dude.
That's about all I had for missing 411s. Yeah, sorry if this one isn't as long. I went on a little vacation trip for 4 days.
We've been busy.
Yeah, we've been real busy. So
Busy.
But this is a story I had in my back pocket that I found really interesting. So, but the missing 411 stuff is definitely very interesting, considering all of the national park stuff that we spoke about and possible portals. And not that I think that Bigfoot has taken anyone, but I feel like there's definitely portals out there, and there's definitely UFO stuff going on, and maybe even secret government cover-ups, which we know, which is also crazy that a lot of these conspiracies are coming true. But
I want to believe.
In what?
The missing 411s. But also, I mean, you're talking about 50,000 acres in a national park. Somebody goes missing. They die. Nature's going to take over, man. Their hair, their bones, their meat, their organs.
Well, the ones that I find really interesting are very similar to this, where they disappear for some time and then they come back.
That is mysterious. But the people that go missing and they never find them, I'm like, a bear, they're probably inside of a bear right now being digested. It's really hard. Like, if you think about the scale of like searching for people, I mean, you're talking needle in a haystack most of the time.
Yeah. I was trying to find the stories that I've heard about, because I watch a lot of this stuff on YouTube, and I consume this type of content, and I couldn't find the stories that these people were saying, but I guess I could have just went back to their videos and watched it and figured out what the names were. But a lot of them like talk about these people that are going hiking that have like they're intermediate or beginners, right? There's a marked trail, and they end up like in a place where even experienced hikers or the rangers find it really hard to get to, and that's where they're at. So it's like, how did they get there if with no prior experience of this type of stuff? And then that's when they call in like the military to go out there. But why are they calling the military to go out there?
Mm-hmm.
What are they doing out there?
Mm-hmm.
So
They probably found the secret bunker where they're hiding Bigfoot.
yeah, poor Bigfoot. We should do a petition and tell the elites and tell the military to stop hunting Bigfoot. Let them be. Oh, so this is crazy. You obviously don't consume this type of content, but I was scrolling on TikTok and I came across these two women. I don't know their names off the top of my head, but they have a Ouija board and they talk with like the spirits about whatever questions their viewers send in. And it's actually really interesting. And they talked about Bigfoot and they were like, is Bigfoot also Sasquatch? And I guess Sasquatch is like the preferred name of this species. It's like an alien species, Bigfoot.
I thought Sasquatch was a native word.
Maybe that's why I don't know, maybe that's what they prefer. But basically that's saying that the reason why Bigfoot is showing up or Sasquatch is showing up so often right now, or like it just did in Ohio this year, crazy, is because they need our help because they are being
hunted by the descendants of Teddy Roosevelt.
Hunted and what is it called? They're going extinct.
Yeah.
So they need our help, but like but they stay away and they do their own stuff. So it's like, I don't know how we're supposed to help them unless we can do it telepathically or something.
There can only be one dominant species on the planet.
But there's more than one Bigfoot.
Not for long.
Bigfoot's not a dominant species.
I know. We've hunted like a lot of species to extinction.
I don't know.
The black rhinos. R.I.P.
Yeah. Oh,
tigers.
Here's something I want to talk about that just reminded me of Antarctica when we talked about that. And I mentioned how that scientist or whatever that guy, the researcher was out there and he found beyond the ice wall was an entire jungle or whatever.
Yeah.
They like made their own, you said they made their own sun?
Yeah. It's a stable fission reactor.
If that's what it is, why can't our Earth be that?
We don't have the technology.
Maybe we do, and that's why we're living in the simulation.
Well, yeah, I guess if you want to zoom out all the way and say that we are in a simulation, then anything's really possible as long as it obeys the laws of physics. But then you're like, okay, well, what about quantum mechanics? Because none of those laws or theories obey the laws of physics at all. So that's a story for another time.
Hell yeah.
I want to talk to you about Stephen Kubacki, PhD.
Okay. How is he relevant to today's stories and stuff?
Stephen Kubacki is an American clinical psychologist who became internationally famous for his mysterious 15-month disappearance from a frozen Lake Michigan shore in 1978. For nearly 45 years, his case was considered one of history's most bizarre, unresolved missing person incidents, frequently attributed to dissociative fugue. Fugue state is like where you're not in your right mind and you don't remember anything that happened. Usually from like severe anxiety and panic, fear. The Lake Michigan Triangle.
Oh, I heard about this. Can I peek in real quick?
Peek in.
Thank you. The trip I just went on with my family was in Michigan, and we were not staying in this triangle. I believe this is on what is it in Lake Michigan? Is that to the left? Is that to the left of the mitten?
We'll have to look it up.
I saw something that was left of the mitten, and we went to the Sleeping Bear Dunes, which I don't think is close to it, but I found it very interesting too, and I'm glad you're bringing this up. Thank you. You may continue.
Or supernatural events. However, Kubacki, I'm going to say it like a Midwesterner, Kubacki, shattered decades of silence by publishing a detailed memoir confirming that he staged his own disappearance as a form of ideological rebellion.
Oh, quite the twist.
February 19th, 1978, 23-year-old Hope College student went missing while solo cross-country skiing. Snowmobilers, which snowmobiles in the late 70s were probably They're probably ripping, dude. They're probably ripping.
Ripping, brother.
Snowmobilers located his skis, poles, and backpack neatly organized near Saugatuck, Michigan. Search teams found a line of footprints leading out onto the ice sheet that suddenly stopped. Investigators and family assumed Kubacki had fallen through the thin ice and drowned. Then, on May 5th, 1979, he abruptly returned, walking out of a meadow in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. He was over 700 miles away from the initial search site on Lake Michigan. Now, he claimed to have woken up, quote unquote, woken up in unfamiliar clothes, holding a backpack filled with maps, running shoes, and a marathon t-shirt. Aside from being mildly disoriented, he was completely healthy, well-fed, and uninjured. But then, after practicing as a psychotherapist in Seattle for decades, Kubacki co-authored a memoir with Dylan James Quarles titled The Disappearance, Conspiracy, Revolution, Revelation. He also addressed his actions during interviews on platforms like Apple Podcasts. His revelations include the fake amnesia. He admitted to never actually suffering from amnesia or a fugue state. He maintained a perfect recollection of the entire period. Disillusioned by the Cold War and class divide, Kubacki and a circle of rebellious peers devised a plan. He staged his death to go underground and attempt to organize a global resistance movement against established power structures. During his 15 months missing, he assumed a new identity, traveled across continents, trained in martial arts, and even attempted to join the French Foreign Legion. He abandoned the mission after realizing he could not stomach the darker, potentially violent methods required to sustain an underground network. He claimed amnesia upon his return solely to protect his family and the peers involved in the scheme. I don't know. You're telling me that this dude basically tried to become Batman?
Yeah, he seems like he did a lot of stuff in that 10 years. And
given the time period.
So what was his reason? He didn't want to be a part of the...
He wanted to be an anti-disestablishmentarianist.
Elaborate.
That's not the right word.
Yes.
He wanted to rebel against the establishment and create an underground network of spies to disrupt the powers of the world.
But he was unsuccessful.
He said he couldn't stomach the violence.
Hmm.
Did he, though? Did he do all that stuff? Doubt. He didn't do any of that stuff.
So what do you think happened then? Aliens?
Maybe he was brainwashed.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
You know?
Like in Lost?
If you're a psychologist and you're listening, mad respect.
Oh.
But how are you gonna believe a man who psychoanalyzes people who then psychoanalyzes himself? It's all subjective.
Yeah.
I mean, psychology in and of itself is just a subjective field of study. It's all theories. It's like sociology.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just all theories. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, that's interesting. It makes me, ever since, I've said this before, I'm going to say it forever. Ever since we started this podcast and I am doing more independent research on different things and also like doing research on my own content stuff, like I'm believing more and more the possibilities of aliens or the higher powers or the Stargate. Golds. The golds are like, you know, I believe in alien abduction, right? And I feel like if these people are going off and they're disappearing for this long period of time, where these people are abducted, they do whatever they have to do, and then the aliens are like, well, we can't just send them back without a story, so let's like put this download into their brain.
Oh my God.
What?
Can I interrupt you?
You may.
So the last episode, was it the last episode we were talking about World War III and the one true world religion?
Yes.
And the origin of man and all that. I literally today just watched an episode of Stargate where that exact scenario was playing out on a different planet.
Okay, I thought, I was like, This
today.
sounds so familiar.
Today. After the fact. What are the chances? Well, the chances are pretty good because I'm watching every episode. I'm on season 3. But they go to the planet and they get there and there's an archaeologist and he's like, oh my God, the stone ring. Like, in case you didn't know, because they got to put an entire planet's history within an hour-long episode. But they're like, continent A is at war with continent B because continent A believes that the humans of that planet were brought there thousands of years ago by an alien species through a ring, and that ring is on continent B. And so they're trying to get there and find it. And then the bad military guy from continent B is like, it's not true. My entire country or continent or whatever is basically this dogmatic theocracy where we believe that we were created by a god and that those people over there are cynical and wrong in every way and they're at war. And it's like, dude.
I literally thought that too when you were
Is that not foreshadowing? Is that not foreshadowing for 2036? You know what I'm saying? If that's not a sign, then I don't know what is. Because I was talking about that, having no knowledge of that episode, and then a week later, the plot of that episode is exactly what I was talking about.
I wonder if there's any Simpson episodes about the future.
Oh, we should do a whole podcast on the Simpsons.
Oh, I agree. I think that'd be really cool. Because what is
kidding me?
that? Who's running that show? Who knows all of this?
Matt
Is this something
Groening.
from the future? How does he know all this stuff that's happening? A lot of it is so specific too. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Or is it like downloads from the universe or the source or whatever that he's getting, or the writers are getting? Like, what is this?
Well, also The Simpsons has like the most episodes ever. So it's like the infinite monkey theory. You know what that is?
Mm-mm.
So basically, the theory is like explaining that like anything is possible, because if you had an infinite number of monkeys typing on computers, they would create Shakespeare's Hamlet at least one time, to the letter, exactly how it should be.
But how does that explain? Are there monkeys doing it now?
No. Where are these monkeys?
Where are they holding the monkeys? Are they getting fed properly? Do they have outdoor time?
Yeah, it's like do you watch the new Superman?
No.
Oh. He has like a pocket dimension and he has like a whole prison in there with like thousands of people. And it's like, where is this pocket dimension with all these infinite monkeys typing on these computers? I think they do mention that in the movie itself. I'm pretty sure there are monkeys typing on computers in that movie.
Oh, interesting.
Or something similar. So skeptics are saying that basically like because the sheer volume of episodes that exist, specifically about alternate futures, it's like A, they came pretty close to predicting it, or B, it's sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like their chances of predicting that stuff are higher because they have released so many episodes. And they're so in touch with the collective unconscious.
Yeah,
that's why the show was so successful.
I'm thinking, yeah, there's something deeper spiritually than just them just trying some stuff.
Yeah. But some of the stuff, like there was one about like some math formula that I saw and I was like, darn. And they like the guy was writing it on a chalkboard in the episode, and then it was like some type of mathematical proof that came true decades later, and it was exactly written out how it should be.
We need to.
That's probably completely wrong, but it was something like that.
We need to figure out what they're doing, because I wonder if they're doing like the gateway tapes or something, to connect with something bigger than us.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. Pretty cool though.
Pretty weird. The Stargate thing is really freaking me out now.
Yeah. Well, I think about, like, I don't really watch the show because you said they're remaking it, right? But it's probably, because it's really hard for me to rewatch like that time period. Like it's
the late 90s.
Yeah, it's just the graphics and.
But it was before HD. That's why.
I know, but it's hard for me to get into it. But I'm starting to think about the like Stargate portals more often, and I'm like, these could exist.
Oh, yeah. Totally. There's
So-
probably one in Antarctica right now.
Oh, there's something. There's something
You know what I mean?
there. We need, maybe that'll be our next episode finally, because I really want to go into Antarctica.
In the next episode, we are going to Antarctica to solve the mystery.
You betcha.
I am chartering a ship. It is taking us there, and we are braving the polar bears and the ice and the penguins. There's no penguins in Antarctica.
No penguins, polar bears.
Braving the polar bears. We're going to roll around in big hamster balls so they can't attack us. And we're going to go right to the middle, to the South Pole.
Yeah. And we're going to record everything and get all the details together and have the video out next Wednesday.
And we're going to have we're going to live stream it on Starlink.
Reporting live.
Reporting live from Antarctica.
I ain't never been on television before.
I've never been on live television before. I'm in Antarctica. I'm at the Stargate. No, dude, there's got to be something buried in that ice. Pyramids and stuff. I mean, it would make sense.
There is pyramids there.
Yeah. There are pyramids there.
There is. There do be.
There do be pyramids there.
There are pyramids there. Yeah.
Yeah, like the pyramids being built on all the ley lines of the earth and stuff.
Yes.
Wild.
What is that? There's
that's gonna
something
go
more than
right-
us.
That's going to go right back to the Anunnaki.
If we are God, or we are from the source, or we are from the aliens, then we have the creation power to create the lives that we want and the lives we deserve.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, brother. They call
But
it
literally.
the Gnostics call it the divine spark.
Ooh, I like that.
And it's a small piece of Sophia, the creator of
That's right.
Yaldabaoth, who is our creator. The blind, deaf, dumb God that created us, who's super evil and mean.
Oh, you did tell me about all this.
Yeah. But they say that little bit is inside of all of us, and the only way to realize it is through gaining knowledge. And then once you have tapped into your divine spark and you die, you go to heaven and you get resorbed back into the creator instead of your soul being recycled back here on earth under the iron clawed fist of Yaldabaoth.
What do you believe that the soul lives many lives, or do you believe that it just gets absorbed?
Oof, that's a tough one. I don't really know. I don't have
You don't have to know. I just want to know.
I don't have concrete beliefs about things that I don't know because I don't know. So how can I say? I guess I am truly faithless, but but in a good way that makes me a good person and curious and fills me with wonder, not in like a absolutist, mean, cynical way.
Yeah. I think, well, you've met people right before when you're like, oh, they have a young soul. Like this is their first time here. They're very...
I met a man. This is a side story.
Oh.
I used to work at Subway in college, and it was connected to a church. Well, it wasn't connected to a church, but it was right next to a church. And all the church people would come and get their breakfast and lunch and whatever. And there was an old man, and I can't remember his name, but he had long hair, and he was foreign. And his job was to sit with people as they were dying. So he had sat with like hundreds and hundreds of people in their final moments. And
What a beautiful soul.
yeah, and he was super super kind, and I don't remember what he would get, ham and cheese maybe. But anyway, he was always super nice. And he was telling me about it, and he called it the breath of life, the bruja, he called it, but with his thick accent. I don't really know the exact pronunciation, but
What was his ethnicity?
bruja, he would call it. I don't know.
Oh, I've heard that word before.
And so if I'm gonna believe anybody about what the soul, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and stuff like that, it's probably that guy, because he's literally been around hundreds. That was his whole adult life, was just being around hundreds of people that would die in front of him, and he just watched them and comfort them in their last moments. But he said that he could feel on their last breath, the bruja, when their soul, he said he could feel the soul leaving the body most of the time.
Yeah. I don't know which law it is with the energy.
The law of conservation of energy?
Energy can not be created or destroyed. It's just transformed or
Yes.
whatever.
Thermodynamics.
Yeah. I'm getting on that side of social media, and I'm really excited to play around with it because I saw this one girl. Well, because of that, because you said that, I'm like, I feel like you could feel the energy of the soul or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, that's what that guy was saying.
Yeah. So because of that, you saying that, I was thinking about this video I saw today, and this girl was talking about how she was learning how to charge energy with her hands, or like the one girl was like, if you've ever been told that you have healing hands, this is something you should do and start trying to do with your energy in your hands. And basically she went through like this whole thing of creating the energy. And the girl was like, I started trying to move things. So she was like, at first I started with aluminum foil. She had like a aluminum foil folded, and she was able to move it with just her hands. She had a video too. It was really cool.
Get out of here.
I believe it. I believe in a lot of stuff though.
Moving aluminum foil with your hands. It's got to be static electricity.
Then she put a jar or like a big vase around the aluminum foil and was still able to do it. So I'm thinking like, well, but because of the energy, I'm like, if you can concentrate so much energy into something like that to make it move, like just imagine what else exists in this world. But to get back to what I was saying originally with like the young souls and the old souls and things like that, I feel like the souls come here to have the human experience, right? You choose your life path because there's something that your soul needs to learn to then move on to the next, to upgrade levels.
Oh, see,
to
now
where
you're
you
getting into some Buddhist reincarnation stuff.
Yeah, to where you complete everything you need to learn, and then you can probably ascend into like the back to the source. Possibly. I don't know. I really don't know, but I feel like that feels like the truth to me more than anything else. Because I've met so many people that are like very old souls. Like you can meet like a 4-year-old and you're like, that's an old soul, right? Like it's an old grandpa right there.
They have to come from somewhere. I mean, if 2 people have a baby, where does that soul come from?
That's dead person? You choose your life. And I've seen a lot of comments too. People are like, I would never choose this life. And it's like your soul chose to come here to learn whatever it may be. So if you're going through poverty, it's like learning to overcome that. Like you're trying to learn a big life goal or life lesson. You don't have to believe it, but
where do they come from?
The soul?
Yeah.
From the source.
Why are there so many? Like, how do they multiply then?
What do you mean multiply?
Well, humans multiply.
Yeah.
I mean, at one point there was, 1 million people on the earth. Now there's like 8 billion.
Well, I think it's limitless. I don't think that. I think the soul can create like if you are God, right? God is within you, as they say in like many different religions. You are just pieces of the main. I just see it as like a big light, and you're just a little speck of light, a little spark.
So a little piece comes off every time someone's born.
I think they come off before people are born.
They're waiting.
Yeah. Yes. There's a waiting list.
Waiting in the wings.
Yes.
So
I don't know about the wings, but
they got a little number card.
Yeah. Probably in the DMV, just like, damn. When is it going to be my turn?
I'm on break.
They skip you. Like, come back tomorrow.
Sir, you do not get to inhabit this body.
But I think it's a good way to like think about life too, because then it's like when you do wake up every single morning, like this is such a blessing that I get to be here now. I get to live this life, and this is like my experience that I chose. And then when you start thinking about like being your own creator or being a piece of the creator, you can start shaping your reality to what you want it to be.
But from a scientific perspective,
okay,
couldn't you argue that DNA has its own memory in a way, and that what we see as the reincarnation of souls is the learned wisdom of DNA that has proliferated through generation after generation?
That's an interesting perspective. I never looked into it, so I don't know. But
like you talk about generational trauma and stuff a lot.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I think
the DNA remembers.
Well, I think the DNA is a part of your physical body.
Yeah.
So
it's a code.
Yeah. So the soul is separate from what I believe. The soul is separate from your body, and you come into the soul enters the body. Therefore, you become one with the body, but it's not like that's.
But what we describe as the soul is just the result of electrical impulses in the brain.
Maybe. And
all of our experiences are learned through others. Like if you had a mother give birth to a baby in the wilderness, and somehow that baby survived, like raised by wolves type stuff, would that person have a soul like a human being if they were feral?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, do you think if you grab that person 20 years later and we're like, hey, we're going to put you in school so you can learn how to read and write, it would be possible?
Possibly, but I don't understand like why that's a correlation, or I don't understand your argument.
I'm talking about nature versus nurture.
Yeah, I don't know. The soul, to me, the soul is separate from the body, although they join when you pick your body, basically pick your life.
I guess if you're in the school of thought that we used to be animals, basically. It's like, how did the soul develop?
I don't think we used to be animals.
Unless you think that, you're on the other side of the fence where you're like, we were put here.
I don't think we were apes or anything like that. I think we were put here.
By the goal.
We were created. And not in the sense either of like Adam and Eve specifically, like not in the Bible's version of Adam and Eve.
Adam and Eve were just code names for the outdoor laboratories where the Anunnaki were experimenting on us.
Maybe. Regardless, I think that we come from a source, and the soul is separate from the body. But when you come into your body, you are one. But that's why, like, a lot of people, when they die for like however long period of time, they can sometimes see their body there because their soul is separate from, like, just the light leaves their body.
So we are not ourselves. The souls are just inhabiting a shell.
A vessel, yeah. Like, think about demons going into people, right? And you have to exorcise them out. They're just, what's a demon?
A fungus. Causes you to hallucinate.
Yeah. You better smile.
I don't know. We're just getting into some deep existentialism here right now.
Yeah, for the next episode we're gonna talk about Antarctica.
It's the age-old argument, There was a wise old man that once said, happiness is merely us becoming more content with our core suffering.
Why suffer when you can thrive?
That's why they call religion the opiate of the people in some circles. Because it numbs the pain of your meaningless existence.
I don't think it's meaningless. Clearly. You're on your life path for your purpose. Maybe I'm just beyond the threshold of the normal.
I kind of like the idea. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I kind of like the idea that life is meaningless, but then it allows us to assign our own meaning to it. Like Rafiki style. As opposed to like, this is the meaning of your life. This is what you're going to believe, and you don't have a choice. And it makes you happy inside, knowing that you have purpose assigned to you. But it also saves you from the nihilistic perspective of your life has no meaning or no purpose, so why even exist at all? And it's like, you have to bring it all together and say, okay, my life is purposeless and meaningless, but the fact that I'm here is basically winning the cosmic lottery. So you might as well make the most of it and find your own purpose and your own meaning. Which brings me to my final point. In the words of the famous Carl Sagan, we are just a means for the universe to understand itself.
Yes.
And then just replace universe with whatever higher power or entity that you believe in.
Yeah.
The way, as the Taoist monks would call it.
The way. Do you know the way?
I really like Taoism. I think it's pretty cool. I was really into it when I was in high school. Mainly because I was really into Bruce Lee. Taoism, sweet. They just talk about the way, like the Mandalorians. And tune in next week when we come to you live from Antarctica, solving the mysteries and uncovering the Stargate.
Sorry, at the end of this episode kind of went deep, but
anyway, back to missing 411s.
Yeah, anyways, back to missing 411s.
My problem is whenever we start talking about stuff like supernatural type stuff, I'm like, let's just take it to the max. Like, where did we come from? And then boom. it opens the door for all the existential arguments, and then I can't stop.
Yeah.
I love talking about this stuff.
I don't think you started that.
Well, once you started talking about the Stargates and the origins
Yeah.
of humanity and the soul, it was like,
Yep.
it's all over.
Yeah. I really like that stuff too.
I'm going to hop on that track, and I'm not getting off.
Yeah, that's why I made my own YouTube channel so I can talk about that type of stuff. And yeah, just the stuff I'm learning. But yeah, thank you so much for watching today's episode. If you stay this long, we have a question for you, Michael.
I want to start the dialogue. Missing 411s, missing people. Fact or fiction? Because there's a lot of skeptics out there. There's also a lot of believers. Which one are you?
If you have any unexplainable or scary stories you'd like to share with us, you can please send it to candlelightcuriositiesmedia@gmail.com or leave it in the comments below or literally any of the DMs on social media. We would love to read it on a future episode.
I hope you enjoy. Oh,
go ahead.
no, after you.
Tune in next
I
week
hope you.
to learn more about Antarctica and the mysteries that lie beyond the ice wall.
The ice wall. Is there a sun in there, like a ball of burning gas, not like a child?
Are there dinosaurs?
Are there dinosaurs?
What's
Aliens.
in the ice? What's frozen?
Spaceship.
Why can't we go there?
Pyramids.
Antarctica.
Antarctica. Why is it split up like a pie? Why does
Yeah.
every country get a slice? And what's in the middle?
Why can't we go there? Again, thank you so much for watching and being here and spending your time with us. It really does truly mean the world to us.
Yes.
Every single like, comment, and subscribe also helps support our channel and helps us potentially go full time creating content like this, or hopefully better. Definitely better.
Yeah, listening to the viewers is key because ultimately it's not about us.
Well, it's the reason why we did 411s today, because a lot of people were commenting about it. And although I feel like we didn't go as in depth, we have been very busy though. So we do apologize. We will get ahead of schedule soon when we can. But hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thank you so much for being here. We truly appreciate it. Don't forget to blow out your candles and always stay curious.
Yes. Bye.
Hadley, anything to say? Nothing. Goodbye.